Hey guys, welcome to our day 8 of Mindful December. First of all, I would like to thank you all for the comments and amazing messages I got yesterday. They really gave me so much strength and motivation to keep on going with this challenge, and yeah, it was really nice to receive not only the comments but also like direct messages about for me just like to keep on going. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, today is another day full of like great and positive energy. So I'm just gonna continue with my schedule, and I'm just gonna talk to you today about mindful eating, because I think it's just such an easy way to bring mindfulness into our day, and also maybe a little bit pleasurable, because who doesn't like eating, right? So it could be actually quite a fun thing to do. But before we actually get into mindful eating, I would like to invite you on that kind of, let's call it a gastronomic journey, if you will. So imagine that you're craving some certain meal. Let's just some comfort food, maybe a burger or a pizza that you know that it's just going to be amazing, and you're waiting all day to eat it, and finally dinner time comes and the food is being served to you. You're hungry, you're so looking forward to the food. It looks amazing, and you have this first bite, and it's like an explosion of flavors in your mouth. Your taste buds are in heaven. It feels so good. Then you have another bite, and it feels also great. And then the third bite, and it just feels good. It's pretty good. And then before you know it, you might be actually thinking what you're gonna have for dessert, or you just engaged in a conversation with someone sitting next to you, or you just scroll down on your Facebook, or you just basically consumed by your own thoughts. Now, does that sound familiar? Because I think we all do it. We all check out at some point, even with the most delicious and amazing meals. This is just how we are, and that's perfectly fine. But there are things to do to kind of help us bring more presence into those particular moments in our day. And I don't necessarily recommend like that you need to, for example, do mindful eating with all your meals, because like that requires being quiet, and it's kind of your own space. And after all, we're kind of all social creatures, and meals, this is a perfect opportunity to socialize with others and talk and just be with other people. So I'm not saying to just separate yourself from the rest of the world every time you have a meal, but maybe designate one meal a day where you just designate it for yourself and the time to have your mindful meal. So what we're going to do actually right now, we're going to try it together. So if you're watching it, I invite you to join me on that mindful experience. And you don't need to even have any food with you right away in front of you. You can just have something to drink. It could be even water. That's perfectly fine. I have with me my glass of jamu. So whoever has been to Indonesia, you should know probably this drink. It's just like a ginger turmeric drink, super healthy. So before we actually even drink it or taste it, let's have a look at what we're about to consume. And I invite you to even look at it from like a completely first perspective, because we all take for granted what we see. We don't even register it. This is water, this is a bottle, this is a cup of coffee, or whatever you're drinking. But have a look at it. Maybe notice the colors that appear, and maybe the container that it's holding the liquid. Is it a cup or a glass, a bottle? Just look at it like as if you have never seen this before. And maybe if it's a hot drink, start to notice like a steam coming out from it. And just notice those little details. Look at the vibrant colors if they're there. And let's start to have a first sip, and maybe even close your eyes for that. And first you can start to notice the texture of the rim of the bottle or the container on your lips. Like, how does it feel? The temperature of it. And then we'll make the first sip. Notice maybe first the temperature of it, Is it cold? Is it hot? Is it neutral? How does it feel on your tongue? And then maybe start to notice those flavors. What do you feel in your palate? And those little details. And even if you're sipping water, when you're doing it mindfully, you might even like tap into that sweetness of the water. There's so much going on there. Notice the texture of that liquid. And then when you make that sip, you just start to notice how it feels when that liquid is traveling down. And that's it. That was just like a moment of mindfulness. And obviously, if you're going to eat something, the journey is going to be far even more like exciting, because there's so much more going on, because we are having that so much texture in the mouth and we're chewing it, and start to observe like how does it feel when it's in between your like in your jaw, and just like observe each moment. And there's just so much going on for us to observe. And a couple of things that might help you with this mindful moment is, especially if you're eating something, I would recommend, once you have that bite, when you're chewing your food, put your cutlery away, because there would be a tendency for us to focus our presence in like actually preparing that another bite, cutting the food, or just putting it on your fork. Just put the cutlery away and just close your eyes and just dedicate you that moment fully to observing how it feels to be eating it, like chewing it, and just like maybe noticing even how that saliva is being produced in your mouth. All those little details that we don't even register on our regular basis. That's why I'd recommend to do it in the space of your own, so you're not being distracted by anyone, and you can fully just like take in all those details that normally are not available for us. Even though they're always there, it's just for us whether we decide to tune into that or not. And what is an interesting fact, that if you're actually gonna start eating more mindfully, you will notice that first of all you will eat slower, but also it means that you will most likely feel full quicker, so you will not need as much food as normally when we just like sometimes when we are in a rush, we just like shove the food in our throat in a hurry between our work. So actually mindful eating will help you to eat less, and maybe even stop like overeating, because oh my god, so many of us have this tendency, it's like emotional eating, and we just eat to fill the certain void in our lives. I mean, I'm guilty of that, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to like being able to find a way to stop when I feel like I'm ready to stop, rather than just continue eating for the sake of eating. So mindful eating will help you to bring a little bit more awareness when you're ready, when it's time to kind of put it away and saying, I'm full, I'm ready. That was a beautiful, mindful experience. And another thing that I forgot to mention, which is, I think, also quite important, especially when it comes to food, like before you actually dig in and have your first bite, maybe take a moment to even look at that food and break it down into ingredients. Obviously not like finding the full recipe, but like just those main ingredients. Like, where is it coming from? What am I eating? Is it just like a prepared meal? Or what are the components? Where are they coming from? Is there any like animal product? Maybe you can visualize that animal, not in the sense, I'm not trying to, tell you to go vegan. It's more actually appreciating that animal that contributed to your meal. Thank that chicken, thank that cow, whatever you're eating. And maybe it's like if there are like some vegetables, maybe try to visualize the whole vegetable, or a farmer picking it up, or just to kind of create a bigger appreciation for your food. Because after all, it's not just like the food that magically appeared on your plate. Someone had to pick it up, Mother Earth had to kind of grow it for you to eat it, or that chicken had to sacrifice their life or give you that egg for you to eat it. So there is more to it than just this ready meal on your plate. And when you take this moment to actually look at the separate ingredients on your plate before you eat that food, can give you this greater appreciation for the food you're eating, and maybe it will make you feel even more inclined to eat healthier food. Because if you're gonna try to do that with super greasy junk food that you're about to eat, if you're gonna try to do it mindfully, there is a high chance that you will lose appetite. That's just another thing, that kind of mindful approach to your eating will make you want to eat more healthy and balanced food. That is just would come like so naturally without even you trying to, you know, like cut on those non-nutrition food. It would just come more naturally. And isn't that a better way than just, you know, constantly forcing yourself or feeling guilty for indulging on those food that you know that you shouldn't, or you know that it's not good for you. Okay, so I am wishing you a beautiful and mindful meal today, and feel free to share in the comments how it felt for you to have that mindful moment, mindful experience. And thanks again for watching, and wishing you a beautiful day. Thanks.